go to cash settlement at a particular price. Let's call it $77 an ounce. In other words, you think, let's say you're a large car company, you think you bought your future silver production by buying futures on components, you think you're going to get it. But unfortunately, the shorts are going to lose too much money. So they say, sorry, because of the shortage of physical
United being afforded too much space. Not the best of passes, was it? It'll be a throw.
So if all that gets demanded to be delivered, it won't be left to the they might have to face those demands.
Xhaka's lost the ball.
So everyone gets a cash settlement. And you get this last price of $73. But now, large
given away by Manchester United.
$200 an ounce.
Just 10 minutes to go. Incisive ball. Could be a chance. Well, going for power and so close to finding the net. Well, they've decided to make a change.
So you have to lay your hands on that silver through hell or high water, no matter what the price is. So we might suddenly find that all the consumers of silver, the manufacturing companies, suddenly decided this weekend in Canada, gosh, we've got to do something. This is
Mateus Cunha crossed into the penalty area. And too close to the goalkeeper to really pose a threat.
So,
United will get the throw in. And he stopped them in their tracks.
It's a scenario. So
intelligent ball. Will it be? And through for the goal kick. He hit it with power.
One thing I would say is I've done some maths on a few mining companies, and in the event that
well, the seconds are ticking away, and the home side in control. What have you made of this?
Well, what can you say about this performance? They've been absolutely brilliant. They've played with such guile and creativity, and their pass has been so expansive. Not many teams would have stopped them today.
Well, quite simply not precise enough from that position.
Next year, even at $50 average price, their profits will be significantly higher than they have been. And even if you take a price selling ratio of 10, which is very modest, the average is about 26 pounds.
And the referee is going to add on 4 added minutes. And the keeper more than equal to the task. And over comes the corner. Can he finish here? Wasteful from United. Mukiele. And the referee blows for full time. Positives for Manchester United. 3 points for them. What did you make of it all?
I thought they played really well today, and once again they showed exactly why they scored so many goals. Their attacking play was excellent.
Goes from $20 to $60. 3 times that profit. So based on the last quarter's profit, if the silver price is sustained at 73, they're going to make 6 times as much profit in
On December 1st, 2025, the Federal Reserve Bank flipped the economic policy by ending QT, quantitative tightening. What that means in plain English is the Fed went from trying to remove extra money from our economy to now printing more money. How do I know? Because on December 2nd, one day after the Fed ended QT, the Fed printed $13.5 billion and injected it into our economy, which is the second largest one-day money injection that we have seen since the pandemic. But this is just the beginning, and the reason why you want to pay attention to this is this new economic policy that the Fed just rolled out is going to impact everybody, because it's going to impact the value of your salary and your savings and your investments. So you want to understand how this is going to impact you, but also how you can take advantage of this new shift. So make sure you watch this video until the end, because most people are not going to realize it until they start to feel the pain. Now, a reminder, because our economy is shifting so much in 2025 going into 2026, I'm hosting a live investor workshop on January 13th, 2026, where I'm going to go over, number one, how our economy is shifting, but number two, how these shifts are going to create investment opportunities for you in 2026. I have a ton of research that I'm going to be presenting to show you where money is moving and how the investment opportunities are going to be shifting. So if you're an investor, you are not going to want to miss this workshop. It is live. I'm doing it twice on January 13th, once in the morning at 10:30 a.m. and then again in the evening at 8 p.m. It's a free workshop, it's live, and I invite you to join, but I have one request. If you plan on joining, please register soon, because we have a limited number of people that can join me live, and when I've done these investor workshops in the past, we've hit capacity pretty much every time. So, if you are interested in finding out where you can invest your money better in 2026, I invite you to join me on this investor workshop. The link is there for you to register for free down in the description below. The Federal Reserve Bank is our central bank of the United States. Their job is to monitor and ensure that our economy is growing smoothly, and there are two tools that they have to make that happen.
Every manager knows the score when it comes to this particular rivalry and what it means to the supporters. For a manager not long in the job, victory here with the extra special.
At the fastest rates that we have seen since the Great Depression. So they did two things. Number one, they cut interest rates all the way down to zero, and then number two,
it's always a fascinating confrontation. Liverpool, who dominated English football in the 70s and 80s, against Manchester United, who rather knocked them off their perch in the 90s and the 2000s. Derek Ray, along with Stuart Robson here in the commentary position. Always a special occasion when they lock horns here at Anfield, Stuart.
Well, you're right, Derek. It's Anfield. It's Liverpool versus Manchester United. They don't get much bigger than this. Let's hope the game matches the hype. This should be good.
Fastest stock market rally that we have seen in the history of time. So 2020, we saw the fastest stock market sell-off ever, and then we saw the fastest stock market rally ever, both in the same year. The concept shift, this right here, quantitative easing. It's quantitative easing, that sounds good, because stocks rally and everybody's making money, everybody has money, but there was a consequence. Because if you remember back in 2021, after this quantitative easing started, we then started to see the inflation problems, because now we were seeing inflation at the highest levels that we have seen in 50+ years. That was when in 2022, the Federal Reserve Bank put an end to QE, quantitative easing, and they started QT, quantitative tightening. Quantitative tightening, QT, is the opposite of QE. So QE, quantitative easing, is printing money, that way we can stimulate the economy. Quantitative tightening, which started in 2022, that was now where the Federal Reserve Bank is trying to pull money out of the economy, reducing how much money is out there. So we saw this quantitative tightening happen between 2022 through 2025. But that changed on December 1st, 2025, because the Federal Reserve Bank
and this is how Liverpool start the game. Alisson gets the nod in goal. Mohamed Salah plays with Cody Gakpo out wide. And the striker today is Alexander Isak.
Again, that has investors excited, because now they're thinking, if more money printing is going to happen.
Well, Manchester United have chosen this particular shape.
Well, it's a 3-4-2-1 with two players behind the centre forward, but they need to link up as much as possible. They're going to be key to the way this system works. Otherwise, the centre forward could become isolated.
December 1st, 2025, as soon as the Fed ended quantitative tightening, they did not wait to start printing money. On December 2nd, the Fed printed and injected $13-some billion into our economy, and then 1 week later, they said, oh, that's not enough, so then they committed to printing and creating $40 billion of new money.
An absorbing match in prospect. Manchester United get the ball rolling.
And we're talking about largest matters for you and your investments in just a second, but this is why Wall Street and every investor is paying such close attention to this, because this is going to change the way investing works in 2026, and that's why I'm hosting my live investor workshop on January 13th, because things are going to be changing, and they're changing fast, and you want to be ahead of the shift, that way you can find better investment opportunities. Again, I have my link for you down in the description, but this is where you want to understand, one, why this is going to impact you in investments, which I'll go over in just a second, but number two, why this is different from 2020-2021. Because in 2020-2021,
well, there was impending danger, but good defending.
And the reason why
They got everything right there.
Great effort to keep that one in play.
We're going to stimulate more business. We're going to stimulate more job creation. But what we're seeing happen today is companies are able to be a little more efficient. And by efficient, I mean less cost.
Liverpool have the ball once more.
Because many companies are now taking the
Now he must play with the cross. A good and fair challenge.
So there's a chance that we can inject more money into the economy.
United could be onto something.
Investment values, which could then also be rapidly
They towards the back post. Oh, that's really high-class goalkeeping. But now it grinds to a halt because the flag has been raised.
That's the concern, because of how fast AI is growing and how many companies and people are not able to keep up with how fast technology is growing, because, well, the growth of AI is happening way faster than the internet, and it's happening way faster than social media, and it's happening way faster than the blockchain, and many people just don't have the ability to keep up with that, so our economy is shifting, but a lot of people are not. Now, all this being said, this new economic
Nicely timed tackle.
how does this impact you?
That will be a United throw.
Savings, it's going to impact your salary, and it's going to impact your investments. If I start with your savings and your salary, let's get back to what we talked about here. When you have money printing,
Must take the lead here. And the flag was up in good time. It's offside.
Well, he should have realised that's going to be offside. That's a poor decision to play that pass.
Anything tangible. Our money, what we call money, isn't backed by physical gold. It's backed by a promise by the United States government that these dollars have value. That means that we can essentially print an unlimited amount of money.
Well, I think, Stuart, you have to feel for any defender charged with the task of keeping Mo Salah quiet. He can be fantastic to watch.
Great last time out, but no real surprise that they're focusing on him. It's his movement for me, always active, always trying to find that yard of space, and I expect we'll see the same again today.
The Fed needed more gold to justify more money printing. But then the problem was we had a lot of debts here in the United States. The government had to pay a lot of bills and didn't have the money to do so.
And the pass was just that little bit off. Nearly found its target.
The government was on the verge of going bankrupt. So instead of declaring bankruptcy, the government instead said they're no longer going to be backed by gold, which then meant that the Fed could print
Liverpool have given it away.
lend to the government, and then the government paid off all the bills. All the problems were solved, right? Except now when he printed this money, we had the inflation problem of the settlements. That was the highest
And just
inflation
like
that we've seen since the
broken up.
pandemic. So money printing helped the government pay the bills, but then it created the inflation problem. And we saw it again happen in 2020. And
Well,
this is
Manchester
where
United impressed in the last game, winning against Sunderland. As ever, keen to get your thoughts. How might this game go for them?
Well, they were so clinical, weren't they? 3-0 fairly represents the difference between the two teams. But today, it's a different proposition entirely. They're going to be up against it, and I can't see them getting anything from this game.
So if you have $1,000 in the bank, $1 million in the bank, and that dollar is not increasing to keep up with inflation, the dollar is effectively losing value. So if you have $1 million in the bank, it's growing by 1% a year, but inflation
Over it
is
comes.
3%. So that means over the course of 12 months, you effectively lost $20,000.
I think the threat has been averted.
Because your savings are not going fast enough.
Well, doesn't have to do it on his
We
own.
don't know what inflation can look like.
And a routine take for the keeper. Delivery needed to be a bit better.
Next has to do with your salary. It's the same reason for your savings. If you're making $50,000 a year, and then you get a raise for 2% next
And
year.
fine work from Liverpool to win the ball back.
Isn't enough to keep up with inflation. So even though you're making more money
Referee
next
sensibly allowing them to
you're
carry
actually
on
effectively
advantage
poorer
movement.
after a raise because the price of things have come up more than
Well, a
the
good
salary
place
is
to win it
increased.
back, and let's see what it
That's when
leads
you
to.
want to pay attention to this.
And denied by the post.
Just kind of cruise by and that isn't what I pass so far to say.
Delivered into the box.
So far to
Here's the replay. What a well-delivered cross this is. Perfectly placed. How has he allowed that much time and space? He doesn't even have to jump to head it in. It's a good finish, but terrible defending.
All back with Liverpool now.
This is why it pays to be an investor, because we love it. This economic system is designed to benefit the investor.
It might be a favourable situation, this, for Manchester United.
The investors are the ones that get the most. I'll show you. There are three entities in the economic system.
How can they hit them on the counter?
Investors and we have business owners. Every single person is a consumer. You, me, and everybody else, rich people, middle class people, poor people, because everybody needs to eat. Everybody has clothes. So consumers go to Apple.
Players waiting in the centre.
Go to Amazon, go to Apple and buy something. Go to business and buy something. But who is the one that's going to benefit? Is it the workers or is it the owners? The workers get a salary, but all the profit goes to them.
Liverpool with the ball once more.
So now consumers go to the businesses for money.
And he could well be sent off for that.
Because all this extra dollars go to investment. Then inflation happens, nobody was created the price that things go up.
And it was always going to be crystal clear for the referee in terms of the decision.
Well, he had to make a tackle, didn't he? Unfortunately, it wasn't a good one.
When we spend more money at the business, the worker might get a little bit of a raise, but the extra dollars go into the hands of the, you guessed it, the investor. This is why it is so important for the investor, because this system, more money printing, benefits the investor. That's why Wall Street gets excited anytime we hear QE is coming.
Liverpool pushing to add to the lead. It'll be a corner.
That means more dollars are going to enter our economy, and more dollars enter our economy. It is the owners and the investors that benefit. Now, there's two ways that you can benefit.
Here's the replay. It's certainly a well-delivered ball into the area, and it's a great header under a lot of pressure. It does so well to control that. It's a superb goal.
Thoughtful play.
Okay, I'm not a financial advisor.
Wasteful from United.
In fact, you will lose money at some point. So make sure you always do your own due diligence and never blindly trust what random guy on YouTube. So if you want to just invest in the broad market, you can invest in something like SPY, which gives you exposure to S&P 500, the 500 largest companies in the stock market, and the way you win when you invest in these broad
Liverpool
funds
regaining
is what I
possession
call
here.
ABB. Always be buying. Set up a system every week, every 2 weeks, or every month. Money leaves your checkers account and is automatically invested into this fund. We got the markets up and the markets are down.
Showing good patience.
There's a Republican in the White House.
Certainly know how to pick the ball, don't they?
When it's raining, when it's sunny. Like now we have a strategy that's going to win. But for a lot of people, this is actually not going to be enough for them, because a 10% return, it's not going to get a lot of people to where they need to be.
Poor touch, unable to keep it in play. Throw in to come.
Returns, this is where active investing comes into play. And we're entering a time where people need better returns because inflation is expensive.
Wataru
and people
Endo.
need more wealth to be able to retire or be financially free. Now, when I say active investing, I'm not talking about trying to find the next Amazon, trying to find the next Bitcoin, or
Excellent
trying to be the next
defending.
Warren Buffett. What I'm talking about
And
is
the free
trying to
kick
get a
awarded
little
to
bit of
Manchester
an edge
United.
on the markets. Because, well, let me show you something. If you invest $1,000 a month into the broad market, you get 10% a year. You do this for 30 years. You're
So
going
a
to
throw in here for Liverpool.
$1.9 million. And now if you could do a little
read
bit
it really well.
crazy, we're talking about just 13% a year, which is very possible when you're investing based off of research. Again, this is one of the things that we talk about and teach it in the investor workshop.
Neither side really able to keep the ball for any significant length of time. Well, slightly off target, and that'll be a throw in.
You're going to end up with around $3.5 million.
Jeremy Frimpong.
Which means you get an extra $1.6
Support
million,
available.
almost double the amount of money just
And the
because
cross
you
into the middle.
Chance
for Isak. Oh, a sensational stop.
Yeah, what a save that was. Brilliant reflection from the keeper.
The goal! That's two for him today. They simply can't stop him. No wonder he's celebrating. Back underway here, and Liverpool handing out a very harsh lesson. Looks promising. They've really sticking to their task defensively.
People are looking at gold as an opportunity.
Able to skip past his man. Just needs to resolve the danger.
Is it guaranteed? No.
No more time left. First half is over here at Anfield.
They say the value of the dollar is going to go down over the next number of years. There's a limited number of Bitcoin. If I can buy some Bitcoin and the value of the dollar goes down, I think they want to protect the money.
So into the second half, and I must say it was a spellbinding performance by Liverpool in the first 45 here.
We have walked this earth, but Bitcoin is very new and it relies on people actually buying that Bitcoin and keeping that Bitcoin. So more speculative.
Well, this could really help the cause.
Just understanding the differences. In any case, I don't look at Bitcoin or gold as an investment. I look at gold as a hedge, as a type of insurance. I look at Bitcoin as a speculative. That's just the way I look at it.
Was there to meet it.
This doesn't guarantee that markets are going to...
Who can they pick out? Well, you can feel it, couldn't you? Really wanted the hat-trick.
Well, the way he's been played, he deserves the hat-trick as well.
Wondering what is the Federal Reserve Bank going to do? Because at the end of the day, the stock market...
Mateus Cunha.
...is moved as a
The threat could be there.
Sellers, the price of asset gets higher. And if the sellers and buyers, the price of the asset goes down. If you take more money, you have buyers.
Good looking move.
It doesn't look like Federal Reserve Bank wants to
That is how to keep it out of the net.
That really is a good block.
Although recessions are a necessary part of our economy.
Free kick awarded to Liverpool.
But there are ways to win whether markets are going up or down. That way we can be on the winning side of this transaction. At the end of the day, we know that our economic system is designed to benefit investors, which is why it is so important.
Well, no shortage of live action coming your way right here on EA TV. And Stuart and I looking forward to being with you for this match.
What a game that will be. Two good teams in a great stadium. I'm really looking forward to that one.
The housing market is facing a trifecta of problems. We have number one, high housing prices, with number two, high
for a
mortgage
Liverpool
rates,
throw.
with number three, not that many houses for sale. In response, the Federal Reserve Bank just cut interest rates for the third time in 2025, and many people are hoping
He certainly knows
this is
alone.
housing a little bit
Nice
more
ball over the top.
but Fed just
Oh,
responded
that's a
saying,
super piece of defending. Very effective pass. One-sided contest. 4-0. And the through ball. Oh, it's a terrific challenge.
Oh, that was so well timed.
Data and corporate anecdotes and earnings reports. And it's troubling to me.
And possibilities here.
Solely from an economic perspective.
Giving it a go. Well, a powerful effort, but just
we have
wide.
a small group of Americans who feel invulnerable. At the same time, we have a sea of mounting despair. And we talk, and I know you talk a lot left and right as being the biggest divisions in America. It's not. Our biggest division is up and down, and no more so than measured in terms of the confidence people feel.
How about that? It's not left and right, it's up and down. And you have an administration that's largely populated with people who are up.
Yes.
Does that matter?
Yes, it does. Because
Textbook example of how to cut it out.
Like an unappreciated elements that happened during COVID is the top stopped interacting with
Oh, the
us.
threat is there.
People started to work from home, and thought it was that work from home
There's the feed into the box.
that first drew my
Pumped
attention.
clear.
Because I saw white-collar workers immediately feeling better, while blue-collar
And he's
workers
broken free.
continued to struggle. Hospital workers, factory
Surely
workers,
now.
supermarket workers.
Oh, that was a beautiful
Those at
move.
the top
But how about the...
don't see those at the bottom. We don't go to church together. We aren't involved in civic organizations together.
My
We
name
barely
is
ride the
Derek
subway
Ray.
together.
I'm joined by Stuart
And so
Robson here on the commentary gantry.
those are the
And I have to say, the cop in fine voice already as we approach kickoff time. What a match this promises to be.
Well, this is one of the great games of the season, isn't it? Liverpool at home to Manchester United. We've got some top-class players on view, two very good teams, and a magical atmosphere. What more could you ask for?
And we don't have a lot of data to put to this right now because the government is closed. You know,
Now he must favour the cross. The clearance that was called for.
Yeah, that certainly cleared the
So let's
danger,
stick with
didn't
the
it?
anecdotal because this
And this is how Liverpool start the game. Alisson gets the noted goal. Mohamed Salah plays. And then with a real chance. And the keeper is able to deal with the danger.
So if you go back to April, one consistent message we
The last match for Manchester United was a success story as they won against Sunderland. How might this game go for them?
Yes, that was the all-round team performance, wasn't it? They could have won by more than 3-0. Their fans absolutely loved it. Today, I can't see them reproducing that sort of form against a really strong outfit. I think they may lose this one.
Good ball over the top.
And so they immediately pulled back on the home.
Liverpool doing well to win back possession.
And here we are 6 months later, and the tariff question still remains. So the all-clear sign hasn't come into the full economy other than at the very top of the league.
Potentially freedom for United on the flank.
Which is something that we're talking
Delivered into the box. And just wide with the header.
And you see that not just at the bottom, but you see that with entry-level workers coming right out of college. You know, I teach at William & Mary, and so...
That's what you call defending from the front. Well, we always try to be fair about it, but that really should have been 1-0 early on here.
Well, what a chance. That would have been a great start for them.
who are studying economics.
And studying data science.
Yeah.
They now appreciate
And pressing expertly.
that employers are holding
Really
back
good strong
on
tackle,
job
and
offers
it'll be a
because
throw-in.
They believe that AI will fill the void.
Well, so the job market and the weakness that we're seeing is supposed to justify at least another interest rate cut. Do you support that view?
No, you
Well, I
don't.
think,
You
Stuart,
don't,
you have to feel
because
for any
we have
defender
two
charged with the
economies
task of
today.
keeping Mo Salah quiet. He can be fantastic to watch.
He comes into this game full of confidence because in the last match he was
consumers
outstanding.
unlikely to see
He got his 2 goals. His general play made him the best player on the pitch by a long way.
Meanwhile, if we lower the cost of funding for those at the top, all we do is to make it cheaper to spend. And we already see an explosion
Well to win the ball back.
in option value.
Yeah, that's a clever interception.
And the market to begin with. And so I think we have to realize that the K-shaped economy puts monetary policymakers in a real box.
So it increases
A
speculation.
timely intervention. United finding space on the wing. Ball was put into the right area, but no one able to capitalise.
But appreciate that if you look at the inventory data, so Connor Sen, who's a reporter for Bloomberg, and I were exchanging data. If you look at lower income neighborhoods, they're awash in inventory for sale.
And snuffed out the
so
danger
it's
immediately.
questionable if you don't have a job, a lower interest rate isn't going to help you on a mortgage you might have.
Certainly not alone.
That is an unreported story.
I think it is too.
And it
Isaac.
speaks to the K-shaped economy. Nobody even knows that this inventory is there.
Regaining control of the ball.
Shocking. Kevin Hassett's going to be speaking in about 10 minutes. This is partly why we wanted you to join us to help us
Give it away
in this
again.
conversation. We sit down with David Rubenstein. You never know what's going to come up. But I suspect they're going to get to
Encouraging
inflation.
move from
And
Liverpool.
this idea that tariffs are not inflationary, which the administration has
Chance for
spoken
Hans.
to at length. And we've
Wonderful
heard from
block.
everybody from Kevin Hassett to Joe Lavorgna on this program, Scott Besson, have diligently made that case. They say, well, it's a one-time shift in pricing, and we need tariffs on a national
Oh,
security.
the ball goes out of play for what will
What
be a
does that
goal
mean
kick.
if you're on the wrong side of the K?
Economists spend an awful lot of time talking about annual changes in inflation. It drives them
And danger averted.
because
Well
the
read.
consumer eats the
Well, they're
cumulative.
allowing him to run and run and
And if you
run.
look at the cumulative effect, particularly on food prices since COVID, it's a staggering number, particularly for
Keeping it
those
on
at
the ground. Slightly off
And
target, however.
Inflation is not just an economic experience for those at the bottom, it's a psychological
Credit
one.
due, a good
and it's
intervention.
on top of other ways that are over here. So,
Oh, great
as
vision.
much, I don't pay a lot of attention
dear,
to
up a
whether
dead end.
tariffs
This was
will be
promising.
inflationary or not. I see the impact already in the data on the economy.
There's an argument, however, between hard data and anecdotal data.
Given away by
If this
Manchester
White House
United.
seems to
The
make its
problem not
argument,
completely
when we start
solved.
seeing CPI jumping off the charts that we're seeing,
unclear when that will be.
So this is the frog in the boiling pot.
It's the frog in the boiling pot, but I would argue that the cumulative impact since COVID hit already has the water boiling for those. And
Decent
they
idea.
don't have the discretionary income, they don't have the savings to be able to
Really good
afford it.
build-up,
And I
but
think
no
you really
end
saw
product.
that with all of the SNAP benefit. Anxiety with the searches
And
for
support available.
food bank opening
Decent looking
relief
pass.
have just skyrocketed. And that says the bottom is not good.
The danger not over.
Since $2,000.
Oh, and the decision is penalty. A big chance for them to take the lead
on the
here.
surface that looks great. But let's look at the COVID
But no
experience
card to
with
go
what
with it.
You know
Well, he
about
should
getting
count
chips.
himself lucky
They
there.
flow through the lower consumer to the lower consumer's lender. It helps them to become more current on their auto. It helps them to become current on their credit card loan.
People at the top just save it.
And people at the top just say
This to make it
That's not
1-0.
no, and for the bottom,
FIFER going in the right direction and saving
in a
it.
position to create savings out of this. And we've hollowed out enough of the middle class that it becomes really concentrated savings among those at the top.
This is really an instructive because when the consumer gives up, that's when the economy gives up. Do you see a recession in the next year?
No, what's so interesting is I refer to our current economy as a Jenga tower. It's top-heavy. And so
Short corner it is.
the bottom economy is
challenge that
already
was
in
required.
recession. Those blocks are being pulled out left and right. At the top, it's booming. And so I care less about what happens to economic growth at the bottom
Jeremy
today
Frimpong.
than I do at the
Options
top.
in the middle.
We like to joke that the markets are not the
Oh, great
economy,
defending.
but we've reached a point where the economy now is the markets. And so
It's going to be
what happens
United's
the
free
financial
kick.
markets is likely to have a supersized experience on what we see in terms of economic growth.
Well, now I'm starting to get scared because you look at that column about the so-called Nvidia state in the Atlantic recently, and you consider what happened yesterday. So just before we had a little sniffle, and the market had a very nervous reaction. This idea of
Can he find the right pass? Has to get them in front.
is the
And a decent save. Full credit.
A lot of people are growing concerned that there's very little problems.
But the circularity is bigger than that because it flows all through those at the top. You know, when you have the head of Delta announcing that for the first time in its history, it will earn more revenue from the front of the plane than the back of the
Who
plane.
can they pick out?
That's so
Oh, strong hands to push it clear.
economy
Excellent
that is
goalkeeping.
unknowingly very dependent on a very few wealthy individuals. to
Yes,
read it
it's a
well defensively.
services-based economy.
And a quick counter-attack could be on.
Well, that could have been the moment.
Oh, opportunity here, Stuart. And the goal! United forge
It is,
ahead
and
in
we're
the
starting to see
derby.
the
And that has
consequences
silenced the majority in here.
It has jumped to the headlines just like the
Well, here's the replay, and just look how quickly they break forward once they win the ball back. And then the finish is fairly simple in the end. That's a good goal.
We saw this with the election in New York City. The voters moved not left or right, but moved down. The progressivism is what begins to appeal. And we saw this if you looked at the relationship between confidence consumer confidence in Bernie Sanders' popularity in 2016.
So the match is
we saw
restarted,
that
1-0
as Reid
here.
fell, he became more popular, and so did Donald Trump.
I was going to say, this is the Trump effect as well.
It is the Trump effect. So you end up with anti-establishment, populist, potentially progressive, and I think
Suddenly they have possession.
politicians on both sides of the
Threaded
aisle
pass here.
appreciate the consequences when you get somebody named
cross into the middle.
Joe
Danger still on.
and from Kentucky who can coalesce
Promising
those at
passage,
the
but
bottom,
came to nothing.
left and right. The bottom is purple, and I think both parties like to suggest it's one or the other. No, it's purple.
Milos
And
Kerkez.
increasingly, it's even more purple because of the rage.
And that
that
brings
is-
to an end the
So you
first
could
half
extend
here
that.
at Anfield.
To believe or suggest that Zoran Mamdani's base
Well, I think
has
we
more
all
in
felt
common with the
Florian
MAGA
Wirtz
base
had
than
the
it
capacity to
realizes.
dominate this game, but not really happening.
Well, I've been disappointed with his game so
this
far.
gap?
As those
Yeah,
touches show us,
I
he
saw
just hasn't been getting
him
into
as
the
a
right sort of
symbol the
areas.
move
That's
down.
got to be improved
And it's
if
not
they're to get back
alone.
into this
We
one.
see this across Europe. We see this in other states. Those who are young and unemployed are excited by this. At the same time,
The second half
it will
underway.
have
United with the
appeal to those
advantage,
at
but
the
no
bottom,
room for complacency.
left and right. Because in many
Nice
ways,
looking
they
pass.
now feel betrayed by our two established republics. One of the most disheartening things for me as somebody who's been writing about this for 5 years is that those who are best in a position to do something about this
And a strong
seem
tackle.
disinterested and ignorant. And that
Oh, great vision.
hasn't gone unnoticed, particularly in the last couple of weeks, given the ping pong ball that was snapping.
Well, he was literally very
Teammates around him.
What do you make of this? Because everyone's calling you.
Win the game!
You didn't put out a news release or an agent. Everyone realized that this
And a
issue for
precise
Ireland was
challenge
something that
just
we
when
needed
it was
to address
required.
once again.
Yes,
That
I
was
think
a
this is
goal-saving
tipping point.
challenge,
This
no
is
doubt about
like
that.
Tom Hanks getting COVID, where suddenly the crowd went from not being concerned to being extremely concerned.
Could be threatening.
This is so ubiquitous, so easily explained to anyone. Caution's
Throwing his
time
luck.
that you got is
The
beginning
keeper
to
getting
lose.
right behind it.
And now the question is, how does it close? And I would encourage those in policy making to think thoughtfully about that, because if they fail to do that, we know
Short corner taken.
despair
Goal
leads
for Liverpool. Make sure the pass wasn't troublesome. Well, the threat could be there. Just needs to resolve the danger. Wirtz using all his defensive acumen to cut it out. Liverpool in a position of menace. And credit is due for that good piece of defending.
You told them about your plans for the next 5 years.
United could get in behind the defence. And played in. And well aware of the aerial threat. That's a great save.
He did so well to stop that, didn't he?
2026 is going to be unusual. It's going to be like nothing you've seen before. And while it
So
may
the corner
put
played
a
into
lot
the
of
box.
investors in the poorhouse,
Oh, that surely
it will
had
make
to go
a
in.
lot of
But
smart
marvellous
investors
defending.
extremely wealthy.
Well, another
if
corner
they
following on
act
from the last one.
So what you got to do is think, act, and react accordingly.
A wild
You can
effort
beat
it
in the
was,
second game,
and probably the
not
less
first.
said about it, the
But
better.
I only ask you that you listen. Don't click nothing. Don't smash nothing. Don't buy nothing. Just listen to me in this video. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think 2026 is going to do, how it's going to play out, the reasoning and the logic
Intercepted
behind it,
effortlessly.
and finally my strategy.
Good use of
on how
advantage
to
in
think
United's
and
favour.
react to what's coming, because we may
Decent
see
position.
something we haven't seen in a long, long time. And you know what it is. I'm prepared.
Well, the keeper didn't fancy
Now,
catching it,
give me just
so a
general
corner
idea
it'll
of
be.
where we're coming from. Right
No
now,
escape, not an
we
immediate
have
yellow
a lot
card,
of
but the
chatter
referee
on social
deals with it
media
now.
about what's going to happen in 2026. On the one hand, Ben Ives is saying we got 2 more years of this bull market insanity. On the other hand, Tom Lee is becoming slightly less bullish, giving a lukewarm prediction for 2026.
Trying to deliver it accurately.
Target and saying that there might be some turbulence, but still remaining somewhat bullish. But I think
Can they set up a chance?
I think to understand the magnitude of the event, the world that we can prevent
And it's in for Manchester United.
understand
They
exactly
are on
what's
a
going
victory
on,
course.
understand the underlying circumstances that are going to drive the market, and then understand eventually the possibility of how this all can play out, and then prepare accordingly. So, number one, going as back as October of 2022, we are now up 90% in 3 years on the S&P 500. In 3 years, we went from 3,600 on the S&P 500 all the way to 6,800 as of the making of this video. In a normal cycle, we would have expected to see a 30% return for those 3 years, because on average, that's what we get, about 10% a year on the
Well, a
S&P
memorable
500.
win in the
Which
making,
means that
perhaps,
for the past
and the
3 years,
manager could give the
we've
fans
essentially
plenty
been
of
running
reasons to
at
smile.
triple speed.
Yeah, they're in a great
3
position
times
here.
faster
Just need to keep
than
the intensity
average
up now.
run rate of the market. And that means that the market is
Danger building.
a lot of investors
Oh, that's a
misunderstand
soup.
that.
Oh, this could be trouble.
And they misunderstand what it means. Because in itself, it's not an indication of a problem. And while it is true that averages
Gakpo
serve as a
could
magnet,
reduce the deficit.
and the higher you get away from the magnet, the stronger the pull begins, and like gravity, the magnet always wins. It doesn't necessarily happen when you think it needs to happen. The fact is that we can have multiple years with these real ones, running again, and it's been absolutely normal. In fact, in the past 40 years, we have 4 stretches.
Just look at his movement. He knows exactly how to find space. And it's also a timely finish. That's a nice goal.
50% of the time, in the past 40 years, we've been in the 5-year consecutive bull market. 4 times where we have 5 consecutive good years on the S&P 500.
So there we have it, 2-1.
It's not abnormal, it's not unusual, and it's not rare.
20 minutes remaining.
So in itself, we're not going to cash just because we're on a hot streak in the market. That in itself
Well,
is
nicely
never
cut
a
out.
reason
Now what can
and
they
never
do with the ball?
cause
And the
never
free kick
an
awarded to
indication
Manchester
that the market
United.
is about to slow down. It feels like that, but it's not. You got to forget about this, right? What you do want to take a look at is fundamentals.
How about the cross?
Fundamentally
And played to the front post. Wasn't quite as good as it looked when it was played over.
2026. And along with the lower
And
rates
over
that
the
we're getting
byline,
from the central
goal kick
bank,
coming up.
with the Fed cutting interest
And we're
rates,
focusing on him
we're
for a
gonna
reason,
have a lot of
Stuart.
money
He's asking plenty
flowing
of
into the
questions of the
economy.
defenders.
From AI
Yeah, his general
infrastructure,
performance has
from
been
lower
really
rates,
good.
from borrowing,
He's
from
been
the
such
banks.
a threat and
So we
deserved.
in turn, the retail
Successfully cut
participation,
out.
the more people see, the stock market going crazy, and the more everyday people that have no business in investing in the stock market will pile
Now,
into the market
who can he play it
without
to?
any understanding, armed with nothing but the Dunning-Kruger effect. They're going to be
It's
piling
gone
into
over
the
the
market.
line.
The more dangerous it becomes, the more they're going to be driving themselves and mortgaging the house, putting everything they got into stocks and crypto. And on top of that, we've got small caps.
Well, every second must seem rather like a minute if you're a United fan. They're almost there, almost over the line. What have you made of their performance today?
Well, it's been a decent performance from them. They've certainly played the more expansive football and had the better individuals. And they now just see this through. Not long left.
These rate cuts will have a dramatic impact.
Decent position
on
this
small
for
caps,
United to find themselves
driving
in.
them to complete
The delivery,
closure of the gap.
and the opportunity goes a-begging. He decided to hit that with power rather than going for placement.
The S&P is up 13%.
And the substitution will occur now.
Only did 6%. Essentially, we're going from 2,400 to 2,500 in a year. So that
Well, I'm not
gap
sure they
will
deserve
close
anything from this
as a
game,
result
but
of
there's
the
still
interest
time
rate
to find that
cuts and
equaliser.
monetary policy.
And you have
And
to
that's
say
gonna
the
drive
crowd have
even
been
more
brilliant. They're still
retail
driving the team on.
which means we might see things in the stock market in
the challenge
2026
that
we
was
haven't
required.
seen in a long, long time. In
Be a
fact,
Liverpool
I
ball.
think it's very likely we're going to have a 25 to 30% yield in
Either side
2026,
really able
going
to
all
keep
way
the
to
ball for any
8,500
significant length of
on the
time.
S&P 500.
Well, it's certainly not a
And just
fluid
to
game, is
explain
it?
to you what
Some of
this
the passing
means,
has been
that
really
if
poor.
the index does to 30% in 2026. Speaking about the S&P 500, companies will trade off free that Palantir
Fine
are
tackle.
originally supposed to make about 75% just based on the data in 2026.
Oh, what an opportunity.
75% in 2026, but I'm
Going
saying
to be blunt and
overall
firing
impact
with the
on
header.
is going to be ginormous, way bigger than 25%.
Here's a
Now, going
change
from
for
6,800
Manchester
to
United.
8,500 sounds extremely good. And yet, but let's understand that no stock market can defy gravity. No stock market is just going to continue to go up endlessly forever and ever and ever. We will have the eventual gravity kick in, and it's going to happen when people
And the
are
Liverpool
least
throw
prepared,
in
because the
forthcoming.
euphoria is going to be absolutely immense. Right now, if you take a look at the market cycle that's leading up to what I call
And the referee has
euphoric
decided to add
You
on a
start with
minimum
hope,
of 5 minutes.
move on to optimism, then you go to belief. I think those three stages played out very, very nicely between 2023 and 2025. The
And needs an accurate
2.5
cross.
years, 3 years, however you want to put it, we're going from hope to belief.
Intercepted it.
But the biggest upside, the biggest insanity happens from stage 3, which is the belief.
Well,
to
what support these
thrill,
Liverpool
and
fans
then
are giving the
finally
team,
to
but
euphoria.
time isn't on their
The
side.
gains that are
They
made
need a goal quickly.
from belief to euphoria
So the referee
are
says goal
exponentially
kick.
higher than anything you've gotten for the first 3 stages combined. And that is where opportunities are created. That is where the most of the explosion happens. But also, unfortunately,
Looks promising.
this is where cycles end. And this is where the chair gets pulled, the run gets pulled, the music stops, whatever. And you
Really
end up
well
losing the
played pass.
situation. This is the end of the cycle when it happens. And I think 2026 is
And
going to
that
have
is the end of the game. It goes down as a United triumph. No fans are going to be happy with this.
Well, Derek, it was a tight game. Both sides had their moments and chances. Overall, they just about shaped it. A well-earned victory.
2026, or maybe even in the beginning of 2027, I'm not sure. I can't time it to perfection and tell you, hey, this is the
Well, this
exact
man
date
has
when
given
this is
us
gonna
plenty
happen,
of
because I don't
reasons
know,
to
and
dwell on
everybody
his
who's claiming
performance,
otherwise
hasn't he, Stuart?
are simply lying
Well, he
to you.
scored
There's no
one
way
and
to
could have
predict
had a lot
this.
more.
The
But
setup
if you
is
keep
being
getting into
created
the right areas,
for
the
this
goals will
euphoric
come. I
explosion
thought he was
into the
very good today.
stratosphere, and then the end of the cycle. Now, this risk is elevated, in my opinion, going forward into 2026 because of a few things, right? And like I'm saying in every video I make, when we talk about risks, we're not talking about scheduled events. We're not talking about something that is 100% certain to happen. We don't know. We're talking about possibilities here. And the fact is that this may not play out this way. And maybe we have bull markets for another 3 years. Who knows? But there is definitely elevated risk. And I want to address this risk because I'm not in the business of predicting, I'm in the business of preparing. And when I identify new risks, I think, act, and react. Okay? So number one, if I look realistically at the job market, at the labor market right now, we are in what seems to be a very gradual but sustainable decline. It continues to happen week in, week out, and it will continue to do so unless it stops until it finally goes beyond the breaking point. Much like with getting a root canal, the root canal did not start yesterday. It's been many, many months of neglect that led to the root canal. So the job market also starts out very tame, very gradual decline that's almost unfelt, unreported, and then